told that, of course, there are so many South Asians living in, especially Indians, and there is one concern: the Liberal government is not starting direct flights between India and Punjab. Have you ever received these complaints from the people of India?
Well, I'm really receiving them from the people of Canada. We have 1 million Canadians of Punjabi origin. We'd love to go back and visit family and friends with a direct flight, but Trudeau has not made that possible. He recently signed an open skies agreement with India that does not include direct flights to either Amritsar or Chandigarh. And that means the people have to go to Delhi and spend several hours at the airport to try and find a connection, or then drive to the state of Punjab. A gigantic waste of time and money. I've written the minister who's caused this failure, Omar Al-Gabra, and told him that this is a failure by Justin Trudeau, and we need to fix it by including direct flights to Punjab from Canada. Now, my office has reached out to the High Commissioner from India and received very favorable response. So I think that we need to fix this, and I'm going to work to fix it.
Thank you very kindly, and it's a great concern. Reason being, so many business people, they take their time off from the businesses and from the jobs. It will be a great saving of the time if the flights are direct. Now, as you got these concerns, you must have got concerns from the people about the price hikes in everything. Now, interest rates are increasing, rents are increasing, people cannot buy homes. How the government is thinking that on monthly ground they are increasing interest, whereas banks are making record profits, people cannot buy homes. What do you say about this?
Well, Trudeau times are tough times. We see 40-year highs in inflation. Housing costs have gone up more than double since Trudeau took office. Now $7,000 a month to pay the mortgage on an average Toronto home. The cost of borrowing has gone up faster in the last year than in any year in modern history. Trudeau's causing this. The cost of government is driving up the cost of living. $500 billion of inflationary deficits have bid up the goods we buy and the interest we pay. Trudeau's doubled the national debt, and people are already paying for it through higher interest and inflation. I will do the opposite of Trudeau. I'll cap government spending, cut waste, fire the higher-priced consultants that are gobbling up $15 billion a year in tax money, and I will reduce the cost of government to reduce the cost of living. I'm also going to cut taxes and reform programs so we reward work, so that Canadians can bring home more of their paycheck and hard work pays off in this country.
Thank you very kindly, sir. But my question and concern, yes, interest, the life for an ordinary person is becoming more difficult day by day. Whereas the banks, they have earned record profit. They have increased their fees. They have increased like at the end of the day, the end user is having more on their plate rather than those departments are making more money. Do you have anything to say about that?
Yes, it's Justin Trudeau's Canada. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Obviously, the banks love inflation and interest rate hikes. They get to take more money from their customers, but the customers are worse off. That's why we need to tackle inflation and bring interest rates back down. And that's what a Poilievre government will do, put people back in charge of their money. Stand up for the common people, not just the well-off insiders close to the government.
Sir, one of our Liberal ministers said today that helping Ukraine to win the war can bring inflation down. How do you believe in this?
Well, I want Ukraine to win, but Ukraine has nothing to do with inflation. We had a war in Ukraine when the previous conservative government was in power. When Putin invaded Crimea, there was no inflation. We had wars in Syria and Iraq when the previous government was in power. And those are oil-producing regions. There was no inflation. Oil prices were higher back then. There was no inflation. There's no inflation in Switzerland, which is right today in the middle of Europe, which is closer to Ukraine than we are. Why? Because the previous Conservative government and the current government in Switzerland, for example, don't have these monster inflationary deficits, which are the real cause of inflation. And Justin Trudeau and his Liberal ministers are trying to shift the blame and avoid responsibility for the inflation they have caused. Even the governor of the Bank of Canada now says that the inflation is domestic. It's made in Canada inflation brought to you by Justin Trudeau. But as long as he's Prime Minister, you will pay more. So this is the choice. More savings with Pierre Poilievre or more costs with Justin Trudeau.
So thank you very kindly. Now, as we are talking about the economy and inflation, do you have any plan in your bag where you can take people out of this anxiety and boost our economy?
Yes. First, we need to reward work. Canada punishes work right now under Justin Trudeau. You know, when I was a kid, I was born of a 16-year-old unwed mother who couldn't raise me, so she put me up for adoption to 2 school teachers. They always taught me, though, that it didn't matter where I came from. It mattered where I was going. It didn't matter who I knew, but what I can do. That's the country to which my wife came as an immigrant, as a refugee. And that's the country we want our children to inherit. But it's not the country people live with right now. It doesn't matter how hard you work. By the time the government claws back your benefits and takes more in taxes, you fall behind. I will reform the programs and cut the taxes so that people bring home more of their paycheck and work is rewarded again. I'm going to remove the gatekeepers and open up the gates of opportunity to our immigrants. For example, I'll pressure the city gatekeepers to speed up and lower the cost of building permits so we can build millions of new affordable homes that immigrants can buy and live in. I'll sign deals with provinces to speed up recognition of foreign credentials so immigrant doctors, nurses, engineers can actually get licensed and work in high-paying jobs building our economy. In other words, we need more opportunity for the common people, the hardworking people, so that when you work hard in this country, you can fulfill your dreams.
Thank you very kindly, sir. Thank you very kindly. One more question, rather I would say it's my concern, the crime rate. When I look at the crime rate has gone up, thefts, beggars at the corner, although our welfare system is a great system here in Canada, but we see beggars, they result in the long run in thefts. The crime is skyrocketing these days and police is issuing ticket for 20-kilometer biker. So what would you say about the crime and all these things?
Welcome to Justin Trudeau's Canada. After 8 years of Justin Trudeau, violent crime is up 32%, gang crime 92%. Trudeau times are tough times, and that is the result of his policies. He's made it easier for the most violent murderers, bank robbers, and assault offenders to go back on the street. Many get bail in the very same day they're arrested. And that's why in Vancouver, for example, the same 40 offenders had to be arrested 6,000 times in 1 year. The same violent criminals are let out under Trudeau's system again and again to terrorize our streets. We need tougher penalties for the repeat violent offenders, and we need to bolster our borders to keep guns out of the country from the United States of America, something that Trudeau has failed to do. In other words, let's bring back common sense and keep our streets safe.
Thank you very kindly. And so this means what should people do? What would you say to the people? Should they expect that if you come in position and a power, their lives will be eased little bit?
We're going to bring back the purchasing power of your paycheck. I'll tackle the inflation that Justin Trudeau caused. I'll get rid of the carbon tax to lower your gas, heat, and grocery bills. I will remove the gatekeepers and open the gates of opportunities so people can have better jobs and more homes. And finally, I will reform our tax and government system to reward work so that you keep more of your paycheck and bring it home to your family. That's the goal. Now let's bring it home.
Thank you very much. You belong to an immigrant family, and I'm told, and I have read this, that by 2030, the South Asian community will be a visible minority. Have you started learning Punjabi and Urdu or not yet?
Sat Sri Akal.
You should start learning Assalamu Alaikum as well.
Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam.
Oh my God. So one word.
You know, I was also enjoying a wonderful lorry celebration in Surrey the other day. I was learning all about Dulabati.
Very nice. Very nice.
Dulabati, who fought for the common people, who fought for women's rights. And a beautiful story, and I was enjoying this nice fire outside with a wonderful group of Punjabi people celebrating the Lori occasion and the return of the sun to warm all of us here on the northern side of the hemisphere.
So we should expect you as a hero like that to save the rights of immigrants and to give benefit to those who are deprived.
That's what I will champion. Stand up for the common people.
Thank you very kindly, sir.
Just like Dulabati in South Asia, and just like Robin Hood in
Inshallah.
Great Britain. Inshallah, exactly.
Inshallah.
Thank you.
Thank you very kindly, sir. Thank you for your time, though.
Thank you, my friend.
Take
Bye
care.
now.
Bye-bye. Bye.